Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh man, do I have a treat for you today on English Resonance. This is the podcast that turns English learning into an epic adventure. If you're ready to take your language skills to the next level, buckle up because today we're diving into a topic that'll change the way you speak English forever. I'm James, and today we're going to talk about something that happens to all of us. Yes, even to the best of us, those phrasal verbs. Picture this. You're in the middle of an awesome conversation. You're talking about something cool and suddenly, bam, your brain freezes. You know the word you need, but it's like it's locked up somewhere in the deep corners of your mind, refusing to come out. You're literally thinking, come on, brain, work with me here. You start fumbling and then, of course, the panic sets in. Your mouth opens and what comes out? Maybe could we cue the awkward silence. Sound familiar? If you've ever had one of those freezer moments, you're not alone. But don't worry, we're going to fix that. In this episode, we'll break down why your brain freezes up, how to thaw those stubborn words, and most importantly, how to stop this freeze up from happening in the first place. So, whether you're sipping your coffee, cruising to work, or just lounging around, get ready for a wild ride to unlock a new level of English fluency. Let's dive right in. What are phrasal verbs? Okay, let's get into it. Phrasal verbs are those high-frequency, ultra-useful English verbs that you know like the back of your hand until the moment you need them, and then, bam, they're gone. Poof. These verbs are usually key to having smooth, confident conversations, but when you get stuck, it's like your mind locks up. Here's the thing, though. Even native speakers experience this. Have you ever tried to say explain, but instead you say, could you, tell me that again? Or you want to say suggest, but it comes out as, I think we could do this? Or realize becomes, I just knew it. Sound familiar? Yep, that's a phrasal verb moment. And trust me, it's one of the most frustrating things ever. You know the word, you can picture it in your head, but it just won't come out. But guess what? We can fix that together. Why do verbs freeze up? There are a few reasons why your verbs freeze up on you. 1. Lack of active use. You read or hear these verbs all the time, but when it comes to speaking them, they don't always pop up as quickly because you haven't been using them actively. 2. Overthinking grammar. Ever had that moment where you're like, wait, should I say suggest or suggested? Or is it explain or explained? And then your brain just freezes because you're overthinking it? Yep, that's a biggie. 3. Translation habit. You might find yourself translating directly from your native language into English, and that's a recipe for freezing. Your brain takes a little extra time, and before you know it, that verb is locked away. How to thaw phrasal verbs. But here's the good news. You can definitely train your brain to instantly access these words. Let's thaw them out. Here are some easy and fun ways to do it. 1. The 3x3 rule. Pick 3 phrasal verbs every week and use each one 3 times a day in different sentences. For example, could you explain that to me again? She explained it really well. Practicing the past tense. I need to explain myself more clearly. This will make those verbs flow into your speech like magic. 2. The shadowing technique. This is one of my favorites. Listen to native speakers, like me in this podcast, and immediately repeat what they say out loud. Don't think about it, just say it. For example, I say, I suggest we take a break. And you say it right back. I suggest we take a break. This mimics real conversations and helps your brain process the verbs faster. 3. The no translation challenge. For just 5 minutes a day, describe your surroundings without translating in your head. Don't switch to your native language. Focus on what you see, hear, or feel, and use any phrasal verbs that come to mind. The more you practice this, the more natural these verbs will become. 5 must-know phrasal verbs and how to use them. Now let's warm up those verbs by looking at 5 of the most common ones. These are the ones that'll save you in every conversation. 1. Manage. I managed to finish the project on time. Can you manage the meeting tomorrow? 2. Avoid. I'm trying to avoid junk food. He avoided the question. 3. Require. This task requires a lot of patience. You'll require a visa to travel to Canada. 4. Afford. I can't afford a new phone right now. We afforded ourselves a little luxury this weekend. And 5. Replace. We need to replace the broken chair. She replaced me as the team leader. Pro tip, the Phrasal verb journal. Here's an awesome tip. Keep a journal, or just a note on your phone, called My Phrasal Verbs. Every time you forget a verb in a conversation, write it down. Then, every week, review the list and practice those verbs. You'll be amazed at how quickly you'll improve. Extra tips for mastering phrasal verbs. Let's add a couple more fun techniques that will really turbocharge your English. 1. Practice with a partner. Find someone to speak with, a friend, a language exchange partner, or even a teacher. The more you use these verbs in real conversations, the more natural they'll become, and you'll have fun doing it. 2. Use verbs in unexpected topics. Try using your phrasal verbs in more complex conversations. Discuss a movie or talk about an article you read. When you use them in different contexts, they'll stick even better. And 3. Create stories. Try writing short stories where you use your phrasal verbs. The creative exercise helps you remember them more effectively because you're putting them in interesting scenarios. Final thought, conquering phrasal verbs with confidence. So, now that you're armed with all the tools and tips to thaw out those frozen verbs, let me give you a final word of encouragement. You've got this. Fluency isn't about knowing every single word. It's about using the words you know confidently. Every time you catch yourself in a phrasal verb moment, smile, laugh it off, and remember, it's just another chance to grow and improve. And hey, even if you mess up, it's all part of the process. Trust me, you're getting better with every conversation. Soon enough, you'll be speaking so fluently that you'll forget what it feels like to freeze. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend who needs to thaw out their English too. And make sure to subscribe to English Resonance for more tips, tricks, and a ton of fun. Don't forget to leave us a review. It really helps other learners find us. Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and don't let those verbs freeze up on you. I'm James, signing off with a big smile and a reminder, keep laughing, keep learning, and keep speaking with confidence. Catch you in the next episode. End of episode. Why this works for listeners. Engaging and fun. No boring lectures, just fun and practical advice. Real-life examples. Listeners can start using these verbs immediately. Motivating. Encourages learners to keep going even when they make mistakes.